A squad of American soldiers can be seen being led to an Afghan hamlet by the well-trained army dog Max. Kyle and Max enter a house as the residents are raising objections to the troops' entrance. Max persistently sniffs a carpet before finding a concealed storage area full of weapons and other lethal ammo. It is then established that the locals are providing the terrorists with illicit ammo. After a challenging day at work, Kyle goes back to his base and calls his parents, Pamela and Ray. Ray is a former officer in the US military. Max's parents appear to adore him and treat him like one of the family. But Justin, Kyle's brother, doesn't seem to like dogs. He dislikes it when his father is stern with him and tries to control him. Most of the time, Justin plays video games, even pirating them to sell to his friends. The following scene shows Kyle being summoned to his office by his supervisor. The leader there informs Kyle that fewer firearms were taken from the community the day before and expresses disbelief that a member of their group is taking them. Kyle confronts his friends and learns that Tyler, his best buddy, is the one responsible for all of this. However, he chooses to give Tyler a chance because he does not want to terminate their friendship. Kyle and his team go on their next assignment the next day when Max brings them to a location and pauses in the middle as if he has scented something. While this is going on, Kyle confronts Tyler, letting him know that he is aware of his illicit business of importing guns. But instead of saying sorry, Tyler requests that Kyle be quiet and concentrate on the task at hand. He tells Max to keep moving, which causes Max to walk into a terrorist trap. Sadly, there are many explosions close to Max, and when Kyle notices this, he rushes to save his cherished dog. He asks Tyler to provide him cover, but Tyler refuses and goes to hide somewhere secure. Kyle is therefore killed in the shootout. The military personnel visit Kyle's home in the scene that follows to tell his family that he has passed away. The parents and Justin are distraught as the news is shared with the family. Later, Max is led to the church where the family is gathered to conduct Kyle's funeral rituals. He sits quietly next to his master's casket and appears to be upset over losing him. After the ceremony, Max resists the officers' attempts to transport him to their military facility and retaliates. The dog, however, remembers Justin and comes up to him, hoping Justin would look after him as Kyle did. Sadly, Justin goes with the police officers and assists them in loading Max into a police van to transport him to a shelter for dogs. The following day, when Justin is playing video games, he begins to think back on his deceased sibling. He visits Kyle's room and looks through his possessions and photographs, which makes him sad. Ray shows up at the same moment and attempts to comfort him. Unexpectedly, Justin explodes and accuses his dad of killing Kyle. As the father and son are debating the issue, Pamela shows up and tells them that the military commanders are about to execute Max. The family doesn't waste any time in seeing Max at the dog shelter. One of the dog's keepers meets them there and tells them that Max is vicious and uncontrollable. He adds that Max has become angry towards people as a result of the stress he has experienced after Kyle's passing. To their amazement, Max stops talking and sits down on the floor when Justin walks into the room. Max appears to obey Justin's instructions because he perceives Kyle-like characteristics in him. Max and Justin are behaving amicably, and the family chooses to adopt Max. A little while later, Justin and the family arrive at their house. Ray informs them that they cannot bring Max inside since he is too hazardous. They must thus tie him up outside the home. Max continues to growl and wail into the night, upsetting both the family and the neighbors. Ray orders Justin to keep Max quiet while yelling at him. Justin reluctantly gets out of bed and walks outside to soothe the dog. He remains silent but does not let him go. Justin is forced to go with him as Kyle did at the military camp as a result of this. Max approaches Justin after he nods off and keeps watch over him like a devoted puppy. Justin gets up the following morning and goes to meet his friend Chewy. He also meets Carmen, Chewy's cousin, who appears to enjoy dogs. Carmen offers to help Justin train and get control of his dog after Justin confesses that he is having problems with him. The next scene shows Justin getting dressed and donning his best attire in anticipation of Carmen's arrival. Carmen and Chewy get there shortly after. Justin learns some tactics from Carmen on how to approach a dog and get him to comply with commands. After several hours of practice, Justin can convince Max to walk next to him. Pamela suddenly comes up to Chewy and Carmen and asks them to remain for supper. Everyone feels uncomfortable when Pamela starts sobbing while talking about Kyle at dinner. Max starts barking obnoxiously outside, and then the doorbell rings. Tyler is on the other side of the door when Justin unlocks it. The parents are delighted to meet their son's closest buddy and wonder why he left the military abruptly. Tyler reveals to them that he was hurt during one of the conflicts and has come back to his house to heal. Ray invites Tyler to the July 4th parade after learning this. Later, when Tyler visits Max with the family, the dog unexpectedly escalates and begins to bark. Max even attempts to assault Tyler while breaking his chain. Thankfully, Justin and Carmen manage to stop him just in time. We learn that Max still remembers what happened and still harbors resentment. The following day, Justin brings Max to a bike park where he rides with his pals while Max hangs out with him. Justin is astonished to discover a cage in the front yard when he gets home later. He learns from Pamela that Ray constructed it for Max to prevent him from attacking others the way he did Tyler the day before. Max is caged later that day, and the family attends the 4th of July parade. Justin notices Max is alone and goes back while others stay to watch the fireworks. When he gets home, Max is frightened by the pyrotechnics. To help Max calm down, Justin goes inside the cage and sits next to him. The following day, Tyler sees Ray and asks if he may work at his warehouse while he is on vacation. Ray smiles and quickly agrees to his request. Ray later queries Tyler about the manner of his son's passing in conversation. Tyler lies as is to be expected, claiming that Max was the cause of Kyle's death since the dog defied him and rushed into the dangerous area. When Ray hears this, he becomes furious and goes home to hit Max. Fortunately, Justin comes and stops him as he pulls out a revolver and aims it at Max. The following scene shows Justin visiting the military dog shelter and speaking with Sergeant Reyes, a friend of Kyle's. Reyes assures him that Max could never have injured Kyle and claims that he is the finest dog to have ever been trained in their facility. Additionally, he presents him with a DVD featuring footage of Kyle instructing Max for the first time and informs him that Tyler is suspended from work. Then Justin goes to Chewy's home and invites Carmen to watch the DVD with him. He discards his uncertainty about Max turning up on Kyle as he observes Max being amiable and submissive to Kyle on the video. Meanwhile, Emilio, another cousin of Chewy who works for a cartel, approaches Justin and coerces him into giving Emilio a freshly launched video game. Justin becomes concerned when Emilio gets a call from Tyler while they are conversing. As soon as Emilio departs, he and Max begin to pursue him. After some hours, Justin reaches a location where he can see Tyler meeting with Emilio in the center of the woods. Soon after, some Italian thugs show up with plans to purchase firearms from Tyler. Justin learns that Tyler is bringing weapons from Afghanistan into the country and selling them there. When the gangsters' dogs hear Max barking, they immediately begin to get closer to him. He beats the two dogs despite being outnumbered and flees with Justin. Justin trips on a boulder as he flees. He is thus compelled to run through the thick jungle on foot. Fortunately, they make it to the interstate, where a kind woman offers to drive them home and leaves them off. Justin enters his home and is taken aback to discover Tyler and Deputy Stack talking to his parents about their illicit company. Tyler found Justin's bicycle in the woods and inferred that he had witnessed them distributing the firearms. Stack advises the parents to remove Max since it is dangerous for everyone. Tyler offers to speak alone with Justin and threatens to keep his mouth quiet when Justin objects. He decides to release Max because he is afraid for his family's safety. Tyler returns to work in the following scene when Ray confronts him for utilizing one of their storage lockers without authorization. Tyler pretends that his friend is utilizing it while he is using it to store weapons. Max, on the other hand, is delivered to the dog shelter but is quite challenging to manage. After quickly attacking the security personnel, he leaves the area. Later that evening, Ray approaches Justin and attempts to start a conversation, but Justin is silent. Ray assumes right once that his son is keeping something from him and implores him to talk, but because Justin is afraid, he won't say anything. Ray visits his storage facilities later and observes Tyler and Stack loading firearms into a vehicle. When he approaches them, Emilio is holding him captive. In the meantime, Ray leaves Pamela a bizarre voicemail letting her know that he would be spending the night in one of their hunting homes. Pamela cannot recollect having any hunting houses, so the voicemail seems odd. The moment Max pulls up outside the home, Justin and Pamela are overjoyed to see him. After that, Justin picks up Max and heads directly to Chewy's place. He informs Chewy and Carmen about his father's disappearance there, and the gang sets off to look for him. When they get to the storage containers, they discover a broken latch. Max directs them in Ray's direction after smelling the lock. After spending the entire night wandering, Justin and his crew eventually find a remote location in the woods. They see Ray being kept captive inside Tyler and his group's car while they deal with weaponry. Justin and Chewy keep an eye on Tyler and his associates as Carmen returns to alert the police after sensing the threat. Unfortunately, the dogs brought by Tyler's friends see the gathering and begin to dash in their direction. Surprisingly, Max overcomes the two dogs even this time. Tyler and Emilio head towards the woods to look for Justin as a result. Ray can assault Stack and escape when he realizes that Stack is all by himself and has no one nearby. Father and son share an emotional reunion as soon as Max and Justin show up. The threat has not yet been eliminated, so they decide to devise a strategy. They each take divergent paths as they go. Stack enters his vehicle and begins looking for the Fatherson team. He attempts to run Ray over, but Ray fires the vehicle, causing it to lose balance and explode beneath a bridge. Tyler threatens to shoot Justin after being frustrated at not being able to clinch the business due to him. As soon as that happens, Max sneaks up behind Tyler and strikes. Carmen also shows up with the police, and all of the evil guys are taken into custody. In the final scene, Justin and Max are shown standing in front of Kyle's grave, and Justin is telling Max how he feels about him. Justin gives Max his first salute and expresses gratitude to Kyle for leaving a puppy like Max. When he gets home later, Carmen and Chewie are inside, and Pamela is getting dinner ready. When Max's cage is unable to be seen outside the home, he asks Ray about it, and Ray responds that because Max would be residing with them as a family member, they won't need it anymore.